Hello, everyone. Welcome to, what is it, episode 5? I don't know. I'm already a beer in, but... So, Aaron Jones scored 4. The Chiefs are unbeaten no more. Mason Rudolph took a big hit. Andre Gruden, the Redskins quit. And AB still thinks he can score. All right. Ads, drops, trades. Got a lot of trades. So we've got Lincoln. He traded the 49ers defense and Nelson Aguilar to Sam for Kenyon Drake in the Seahawks defense. You don't see a lot of defense trades happening in fantasy, but it happened here. Probably a pretty even trade. I don't know. Sam probably won it, I'd say. But time will tell. And then off waivers, I dropped the Bills defense and added Will Fuller. That was a good move, especially since position players on average score more than defenses. And if it's any indication of last week, Fuller could be a big fantasy star. Alrighty. Later on, I dropped Wayne Gallman and added the Ravens defense. I know I just got done saying swapping a defense for a position player is a good move, but I think the inverse this time is true. Gallman had one good week, but now he's injured, and Saquon should be returning soon. So I think that Gallman's time in the spotlight is pretty close to being over. On the other hand, Baltimore has a pretty favorable matchup this week, and so they should score some good points. Finally, Bruce traded Marquise Brown and Auden Tate to Derek for T.Y. Hilton and Christian Kirk. I'd say that favors Bruce. T.Y. is a solid wide receiver once he gets going, and Kirk has the ability to put up solid numbers. Brown and Tate aren't bad receivers, especially Brown, who's on a good Baltimore offense, but I think T.Y. is the best receiver out of that bunch. All right, game recaps. Me versus Zach. I felt pretty good about going into this matchup, but then Zach's team decided to put up big points, with 6 of them scoring double digits, including his kicker. This one definitely hurts. But I'm still hopeful for the future. Zach ended up beating me 131.9 to 113.4. T-Corn versus Lincoln. This one was brutal. Despite Lincoln putting up over 130 points, enough to beat 7 other teams, he still lost by almost 60. T-Corn had 3 players break 30 points, and 1 scored nearly 50, and there's not much you can do when that happens. T-Corn beat Lincoln 193.1 to 133.8. Next, we got Colin versus Sam. You want to know what sucks? When you have someone that puts up 0 points. You want to know what really sucks? When you have 3 people put up 0 points, and that's exactly what happened to Colin's team this week. The worst part about that is the rest of his team put solid points, and so if those zeros would have been at least 7.5s, Colin would have won. On the bright side for Colin, however, Sam's defense did score negative points. But, I mean, in the end, Sam beat Colin 134 to 111.4. Next up, we got Macy versus Adam. This was the closest matchup of the week, with the game being decided by less than 5 points. Both teams put up solid numbers, but some of the players Adam needed to perform did not. In the end, Macy beat Adam 132 to 127.4. Next, we've got Derek versus Fiala. Both of these boys are coming off their first wins of the season, and so unless there was a tie, one of them would get win number 2. This matchup looked like it would be close, but it ended up not being so due to Fiala's players underperforming and some of Derek's overperforming. Final score was Derek beating Fiala 139.5 to 104.9. And finally, we have Michael versus Bruce. This was Joey's game of the week. The last unbeaten team versus one of the hottest teams in the league. This one was poised to be exciting, and well, it actually wasn't that exciting. This matchup wasn't that close, being almost a 35-point difference. Most of Michael's players showed up, and Bruce's didn't. Michael beat Bruce 147.1 to 113.8. Now on to the power rankings. We have a new number 1 this week. Number 1 is Michael. I see you, Michael. You beat the undefeated Bruce, and you scored the second highest points last week, and so all in all, pretty good week for you. You have a pretty solid roster, and I don't imagine you're going to drop too much if as long as you keep doing what you're doing. So, yeah, Michael, number 1. Number 2, we've got T-Corn. You shalopped Lincoln this week, and you scored the highest points out of anyone this week and anyone this season, earning yourself your 3rd beer. Pretty much the only reason you're number 1 is because your record, but if you keep winning, I don't doubt that you can get up there again. Number 3, we've got Bruce. As it turns out, your team is human, and it is capable of underperforming. You got your first loss last week, but if it's any consultation, you lost to one of the best teams in the league, so it's nothing to be ashamed of. You still have a very solid roster, and every week you always have the chance to win. Number 4, we've got Sam. You bounced back after your loss last week, and you did so handedly. You have all the pieces that make up a good team. The only question is if they can perform on a weekly basis, and for now, I believe that they can. So I've got you at number 4. Number 5, we've got Macy Brown. You desperately needed a win this week, and you got one. You've slipped in the past few weeks, so hopefully this is the start of your climb back up. You've got a pretty good team, and let's hope you can and let's hope that you can perform this week because you're going to need every point that you can get. Number 6, we've got Colin. You were cruising high, but you lost and suffered last week. Set you back a bit. You put up a respectable amount of points, but it just wasn't enough to get the job done. You've got a solid team, however, and a winning record, and so for your sake, hopefully you can get a win this week. Number 7, we've got Adam. You suffered a tough loss in a close game last week, and, you had some really good productions from some of your players, but you just barely got edged out for a win. On the bright side, you still have a solid roster, and you always have potential to put up big points. Number 8, we've got Lincoln. You got pretty bad last week, but as I said earlier, you put up a solid number of points. On paper, your team looks really good, but they just aren't performing as well as expected. Trust me, I know how that feels. You have a tough matchup this week, so hopefully your players can show up. Number 9, we have Derek. Derek. You got your 2nd win in a row. A fluke or results of a good team? I don't know. But, you do have quality players on your team, and if they can keep performing the way that they did this week, you should see yourself on the rise. Number 10, we've got Fiala. You're on a win. Your winning streak was snapped at 1. I know what that's like. Some of your players simply did not score as many points as they should have. But alas, you still have a good team, and they should do well. And should they do as well as they're supposed to, I can see you getting yourself another win in no time. Number 11, we've got Zach. You beat me this week, and congrats on that. You do have some solid players on your roster. And while some of them can be inconsistent, most of the time they do pretty well. You've got a tough matchup this week, so hopefully they can do as well this week as they did last week. Which brings me to number 12. Well, it's me, so I'm at the bottom again. I don't even know what to say, except for I do, because this entire thing is scripted. I have the pieces I need for a winning fantasy team. I just need to put them in the right place. Will I do it? Tune in next week for Joey is Sad to find out. And now, we've got some special guests joining us this week. Last week we had some former roommates in Colin and Sam. And this week we have another set of former roommates. So, without further ado, here comes Michael and T-Corn. Welcome, boys.
Thank you. And a thank you.
And yeah, T-Corn, this is your 2nd time back on the show. This is second most of any person on the show, except for me. So congrats on that. And here, have another beer, because you earned it.
Cheers, Lincoln. I hope you enjoyed.
All right. So before we move on, I have a couple questions. This one's for both of you. How do you think your seasons are going so far? I'll start with you, T-Quan.
Yeah.
Well, it was looking questionable at first. Really kicked the shit out of Lincoln last week, so thank you for that confidence booster. I'm going rampage mode now, baby. I don't even know who I'm playing this week. I'm blackout angry now.
Well, you're playing
Who do I
Macy.
play?
You're playing Macy this week.
Damn, Macy, sucks to be you.
Austin, did you get a haircut?
A couple weeks ago. That might be why I'm doing this.
All right. Michael.
Oh, man. It started off kind of weird.
That trade was really interesting.
Yeah,
at the
it's
beginning.
very interesting. I
remember?
liked it. I liked it to begin with, and then he just decided to get hurt. He's an old dog. But he's coming back after his bye week. Maybe I'll pick him up. We'll see. But I've been kicking the shit out of some people, and it's been pretty nice. It feels good to get 4 W's in a row,
Yeah,
especially when it comes against Tyler.
Yeah, I was on the losing end.
Here's to you, Tyler.
Thank you.
I would like more than one win this season. Anyway.
You know what's funny, though? Guess who that win came against?
Lincoln. Anyway, as much fun as it is to make fun of Lincoln, we shall move on.
All
All right, T-Corn, your team has gone win, loss, win, loss, win. What are you going to do to make your team more consistent?
Well, that's tough. I need to get healthy. Saquon, unfortunately, is not going to be back this week.
Yep.
So,
why would he come back? It's the Patriots. He's just going to get beat up.
I know. We're going to rely on a lot of Aaron Jones this week.
Yeah, it's good move, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. Are there any updates on the Bork situation?
So I found myself to be in good fortune as of late, not because of contacting the Bork.
Mhm.
So until the fortune turns, I'm just going to keep things at a standstill.
Okay.
No need to go there.
We don't need to go there unless...
it's not that good.
Yeah, no, we don't need to go there unless absolutely necessary.
Right.
If I need a little bit of luck to win that Bork.
Maybe I should go to the Bork.
At this point, I mean, it might actually help you. I couldn't hurt you at this point.
You know what? Whatever Bree doesn't know won't hurt her.
She doesn't watch this, right?
No, she doesn't.
Okay, good.
Cool. All right, Michael. Your team has won 4 games in a row. What do you think is the reason for your sustained success?
CMC, baby! All day. He is a tank. He is a truck. He is a touchdown scoring machine.
He's a big dick boy!
He's a big dick boy.
I would agree.
And Nick Chubb, he's been
good.
having some good times too. And that consistency in my running back core has only helped. Only helped.
And all right, my second question for you.
Ooh.
You have a special relationship with Megan, the Bork. So, what are your thoughts on the Bork? And if you win the whole thing, what are you going to do with the trophy? Any special plans? It's a loaded question, I know, but it's one
very
that had
tough.
to be asked.
Yeah, it's very tough. Yeah, it was a freshman year, bad choice. Turns out, maybe it could be a good luck charm. I know I'm the only one who's done it. Maybe. Who knows?
It could be. It could be.
It might be why you kicked my ass.
Yeah, it may be. But I don't have any special plans for any trophy that has her name on it.
It's also got a picture on it.
I might just have to hide that away until the year goes by.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. So now let's move into the predictions for this week. First up, we've got me versus Colin. Both teams are coming off. Both teams are coming off.
It's okay, buddy.
Yeah, it is okay.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, there we go.
If you want my opinion, I think you're going to win this week.
All right, yeah, both teams are coming off a loss, and only one of these teams can get the win.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to cautiously give myself the win here. But I would like to hear what you two think.
Ooh.
If I can make my bold prediction right now for the week,
Ooh.
I think Joey's going to get the win.
Wow.
I know Joey is currently projected to win, but Colin does. I'm helping you out here, Colin. You have someone that is inactive in your lineup, so
Fix that.
I'm going to give you an advantage because Joey's my upset this week.
Yeah.
Upset of the week.
You know,
heard it here, folks.
Oh, there we go. That's his upset, everyone.
Joey, I think James Conner is going to do something
I
special.
sure hope so, because
For a third-string quarterback, I think
Yeah.
James Conner is going to do something special,
Mhm.
and you're going to kick the piss out of
I really,
Colin.
really hope so. Next up, we've got Macy versus T-Corn. It's a matchup of two of the better teams in the league. Both teams got a win last week after losing the week prior. So both of them are looking to continue to keep this ball rolling. I think it's going to be a high-scoring matchup, and I'm going to give the win here to T-Corn.
Thank you, Joey.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go against myself. Plus,
exactly
I'm
what
on
I
a
do.
freight train right now from hell. Macy, I'm just sorry.
That's a bit aggressive.
But it's time to get off
That's
the
a
train.
bit aggressive. Look, yeah.
In my better conscience, I cannot go against Tyler. Tyler, the big Cornelius. You're doing something special right now, and it's
Oh, yeah.
almost hitting a 200 burger. That's something.
200 burgers are good.
Thank you, Aaron Jones.
Yes, that was definitely a big
Sorry, Macy.
contributing factor. Yeah, no offense to Macy here. You've got a good team, but it's just T-Corn slopped Lincoln
He's a
last
powerhouse.
week.
He's a powerhouse.
Aaron Jones, baby. All that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, next up we got Fiala versus Michael. This game's not going to be close. Michael's team is really it's been rolling, and I don't think this week's going to be any different. I made this selection last week kind of because of that bold prediction I made that Michael was win 3 weeks in a row. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do to your So yeah, this
You
week
better get those muscles stretched out.
I'm going to give this one to Michael, obviously, and I'm sure you both agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fiala, you really
Without a
disappointed me
doubt.
last week. You were my upset pick, and you shit the bed. So, I mean, even if you were playing anybody else, maybe, but Michael's got a really good lineup with CMC and Chubb.
Yeah, and Bruce isn't here to speak for himself. One day he'll probably be here, but he
Hopefully.
also
Yeah.
picks Michael, so that's his lock for this week is Michael winning.
Okay.
Lockdown.
I locked Michael last week, so I don't want to. I'll pick a different lock this week.
All right. Well, next we've got Derek versus Bruce. If you would have told me a few weeks ago, coming into this game it would be a 2-game winning streak team, and the other one was coming off a loss, I would have predicted that it was Bruce with the wins and Derek with the losses. However, it's the other way around. I think this game will actually be pretty close. And with my bold pick this week, I think Derek is going to sneak out of this game with a victory over Bruce.
Interesting. You know what? I was actually thinking about this before we started here,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to take Bruce as my lock this week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ooh.
I'm going to go in a different direction here. I think Bruce, his team, he's coming off a loss.
Yeah.
He's going to respond well. And Derek, he's too derpy.
A little bit too much.
Yeah.
I also think Lamar Jackson had a fluke game. I think he's going to bounce back. It's Cincy. He's going to throw all over him. He's going to run all over him. He's going to do something special. And I'm thinking a Bruce win is in the books.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, but it'll be interesting no matter what.
Mhm.
Next up, we got Adam versus Lincoln, 2 middle-of-the-road teams here. One of them suffered a close loss last week, and the other one was Lincoln. This one, I thought was actually a bit difficult to predict. Both teams had potential to go off, but actually, I'm going to give this one to Lincoln. I've been making fun of him a lot this episode, but I'm giving it to Lincoln. And also, on the behalf of Bruce, he also picks Lincoln to win. So, what do you boys think?
Lincoln, you got to figure out your lineup. It's been a process, and I think you got really close last week. So just a little bit more tinker stinker, and yeah, I'm gonna pick Lincoln.
Okay. Interesting. You know, I'll go against you guys here on this one. I'm going to take Adam. Nothing against Lincoln besides his flex play. He's got to figure that out. But, yeah, it's going to be an even matchup. I think Adam slightly will take the win. I wouldn't be surprised if Lincoln wins, though. So it's going to be close.
All right. And our final matchup, we've got Sam versus Zach. Matchup between one of the better teams and one of the worst teams. Projections say it'll be close, but I think opposite of that. I think the scores will be far. I think Sam will handedly beat Zach this week. What do you guys think?
Interesting. Yeah, I think Zach's going to win this week.
Oh, wow.
I was also going to say the same thing. I think that Zach is going to pull it out.
Yeah, he's clearly an underdog.
Is this your upset, or did you already pick your upset?
No,
I apologize.
I had already picked my upset, and
I forget.
I think that Joey, no offense, you're a little bit more of a bigger upset right now, which is why I'd taken your
understandable, yeah,
your game, and I really think that your team is going to go off this week, which is why I'd taken you based on your matchups from looking earlier. Zach, he's not more of a. He's a riskier upset to me this week. I still think he's going to win, but like I said, it's like the last matchup, Lincoln versus Adam. It's going to be really close. Either team could win. Either players on both rosters could go off.
All right. All right. So there it is for our predictions for this week. We're going to move on to a new segment called Rate My Roster.
Ooh.
So we're going to go through all 12 teams, and well, this is your idea, Michael. So what's your idea for this?
My idea is that we're going to highlight some upsides where your team is excelling, and then hit a weak point. Maybe where you need to think about getting some new blood, getting some looking at the waivers. Patrolling those things. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So with the first team we're going to analyze here, we've got your team here. Michael, first thing that jumps off the page, you've got some good running backs. You got, as you said earlier, Christian McCaffrey and Nick Chubb, two of the best, I would say, in the game.
Yeah, top five.
Top five. Any thoughts, T-Con?
Yeah, he's got some really good running backs. I think the one thing that's helped him out, too, is receivers are performing pretty well. Not necessarily big-name receivers for the most part, but they're guys that get a lot of targets.
Nice high
volume.
High floors. Maybe not might have the highest ceiling, but they're going to give me about 10 points on average.
Exactly.
Maybe the chance to hit me 20.
They're not
25,
they're not getting, under 5 points, which is really good, which is, you want consistency. I think the only questionable part is tight end.
Oh yeah. I've been working on it.
I mean, it's tough to get a top 10 tight end, especially this time of the season. You either have to get lucky in waivers or you have to draft one. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, also, like I said, your team is very good, but you don't have a solid starting quarterback week in. But as you said before,
I'm in the full stream.
You are streaming quarterbacks. It works.
It's where the waiver works
pretty
in your
well,
favor.
Pretty well for you. So, yeah, Michael's got a pretty solid team. Now we're on to Bruce. Another thing, he's also got some
running
good running backs
out the wazoo.
Zeke and Mark Ingram, and that coupled with Lamar Jackson, that's deadly. That's kind of what you're going to try to go for with that Christian McCaffrey, Cam Newton.
I might be done with that.
Yeah.
I might be done.
Except for, Lamar. And he's also, he's got Eckler as well.
And Gordon.
Gordon on his bench.
Yeah, he's going to get Tyreek Hill back. Receivers were a weak spot in the beginning because Hill got hurt
and he just got T.Y. Hilton.
He sure did.
He's got a lot of
Christian
depth.
Kirk. Oh, God.
That Ertz trade really benefited you.
Oh, my word.
Bruce, because you didn't have a tight end. So, Derek, you're
derpy.
I wanted to be a little bit more polite, but I was thinking dipshit. So, yeah, let's go with dipshit.
Yeah.
Dipshit. That works.
I mean,
Derek, are those guys even on your roster anymore?
Josh Lamb, he's a good kicker, but not top 5.
He's got a great last name.
Sure does.
He's got a great last name.
Spelt wrong, but we'll let it slide. But overall, I'd say solid
all the way
maybe
around.
Defense, but still, I mean, defense.
That's being nitpicky, though.
Listen,
So.
that's all this is. I don't make the rules. I don't,
Definitely. I remember you specifically stating that you did, though. So I don't know what's going on.
You know, it just depends on the situation. All right, next we got Sam. First off, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes.
No,
My homie.
no problem with that. James White and McCoy, though, maybe a bit question marky.
I don't want to fuck with Bill Belichick ever.
That is true.
Especially with the running back position.
Yeah, you never know what's going to go on. He's got Marlon back on his bench, but
I believe he's on a bye week.
He is on a bye.
Okay.
He's on a bye. It's the Raiders, Bills. Bills.
Running backs could be better.
Whatever.
Who cares, right? Bye
Who
week.
cares?
Right,
Bye week, schmy week.
Good tight end and
Very
Will
good
Dissly.
tight, yeah.
Receivers are pretty solid. Hopkins and
he's
Sharp.
got two. He's got Dissly and Hooper.
Oh yeah, would you look at that?
Interesting.
That's a
Flex
good-
play tight end.
That's very interesting.
Bold
Bold
strap.
strap.
Very.
Cotton. But yeah,
We'll see it if it pays out.
yeah. I mean, these first three teams we've looked at, all 4-1, all definitely have a shot to win this thing. Now we've got you, T-Corn. First off, you got Aaron Jones, who's, especially last week,
They freed Aaron Jones.
They freed him, Aaron Jones. Solid quarterback Russell Wilson, MVP
number one.
candidate. Yes,
Number one in the league.
Mhm.
yeah. Kerryon Johnson also very good. Receivers pretty solid.
Very solid.
Godwin is going off a lot.
He is number one in
Yes.
terms of scoring
Yes,
right
he
now
is.
for
Yes, he
receivers.
is. Jimmy Graham. Why?
Well, Darren Waller's on a bye this week.
The Walrus, yes.
Walrus is on a bye, so I thought about this last week on picking up a tight end,
Mhm.
and obviously this is before Jimmy Graham even went off because
Yeah.
I picked him up last week. I kept him on my roster. I didn't really think that there was going to be anybody better
Okay.
in waivers.
Mhm.
I feel like he's a safer risk. That's why I picked him up. Especially tight end, like trying to stream somebody. There's not many
That's
people
rough.
in free
That's
agency.
rough.
It is.
All right,
All right.
and we got Macy
The tits herself.
Tits herself. Yes,
It's McGee.
again, solid
Oh.
running backs. Le'Veon
A lot
Bell,
of people that got solid
Dalvin
running
Cook,
backs.
and then there's Dak Prescott, who always is
Always.
potential for huge
he's
games.
A
Oh,
snack.
yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
snack, Prescott.
I would
Mhm.
eat him all day.
Mm.
Julian
Solid-
Edelman, Kenny Galladay, those are all
solid wide
very,
receivers.
very good receivers. OJ Howard, he's solid tight end, but
Yeah, he's been underperforming
Yeah.
this year.
Yes,
I
big
think
time.
that's the weakest spot on our team right now. She's
would
got
agree.
Hawkinson who did good a couple
Actually,
weeks.
But he's
still in
injured
concussion-
right
yeah,
now.
He's still in concussion
Still hurt.
protocol, yeah.
He did good a couple weeks, but yeah, tight end is
And a rookie tight end.
probably the
Nonetheless.
weakest, I would say, just because OJ Howard's underperforming.
I agree.
And actually, looking at her roster, everybody on her team except for Matt Bryant was drafted by her. So that's pretty solid.
Sounds like
That
a
is
good team.
solid. That is a sign
Yeah.
of a good team. A
Um,
good drafted team.
Mm-hmm.
Good drafted team for sure. All right, now we move on to Mr. Foreskin Colin. Again, running backs.
Mhm.
Todd Gurley and Derrick Henry. Good. Cooper Kupp's also very good. And Jared Goff, he's pretty solid. Samuel Watkins, he had that one really good week, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last week he didn't do
Hamstring.
super well.
He's out with a hamstring.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd honestly like to see how Watkins is going to do once Hill's
Once he
back.
comes back. Well, once he gets healthy and he'll come back.
Yeah, that too. Just because also that's a person that's has a 0 currently in your roster, Colin. I don't know. You probably know it, but I'm just telling you, just because, like I said, I picked Joey as my upset.
Look, if you don't want to change it, that's fine. But
It's absolutely fine.
yeah, but
Absolutely
it
fine.
won't.
It's not fine.
It's a fine. It's fine. But yeah, overall, pretty good team.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to Mr. Yeti Adam.
It's where it starts to get a little.
Questionable. Where the weakness starts to show.
Yeah, we'll go over some more.
First off, Deshaun Watson,
Fantastic quarterback.
good quarterback, very good.
Mhm.
Alvin Kamara, very good running
Oh yeah,
back.
top 5.
Top 5 for sure.
McLaurin, he's also a very good receiver.
Scary Terry, bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews, that good Baltimore offense.
He's got
Pretty good.
yeah, he's got really good tight ends.
Evan
He
Ingram's
should-
hurt right now. We'll see.
he's
We'll
hurt.
see how he comes back.
He should have looked to trade one of them early, Adam. That's my only advice to you. You don't
I
need
sent
2 tight
you
ends.
that trade offer. Why didn't you take it? He could have been hurt on my bench. But, whatever.
Bears, it appears they're on a bye because are they on a bye? Because they're on
Bears
the bench.
are on a bye, yes.
Yeah.
Bears are on a bye.
Because you have them on your bench, but also
And Allen Robinson on the bench,
It's a
too.
good pickup with the
but
Saints.
the Bears, very good defense. Khalil Mack,
Mhm.
very, very good.
And the Saints aren't a bad second choice either.
No, you're not. Bench is questionable, though. It doesn't. I mean, Allen Robinson, but besides that.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you got him off waivers. Fucking Derek, you idiot.
Derek.
Derp Squad. That's why they don't call it the Derp Squad for
Yeah.
nothing, right?
I actually suggested that name to him over the weekend.
Squad.
The Derek Squad.
It fits
And
him.
he listened.
He sure did.
He
He should
listened.
listen
He
more
listened.
What a
often.
good boy.
Which leads us actually
Oh.
to the Derp Squad. We got Derek coming up. Michael Thomas is good.
That might be it.
Marquise Brown.
Newly acquired. Oh, Patriots defense. We can't pass them.
No.
They
Yeah,
are
I
very
think
good.
honestly, Michael Thomas and his defense are probably the two highlights of his
Yeah.
team.
Joe Mixon is
Yeah.
starting to figure
Yeah,
out
yeah.
his way in that offense right
Mhm.
now.
But
Hopefully
Chris
he,
Thompson is your other starting RB.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, we've seen a lot of teams up top, and I think their keys to success is having two really
Also,
good running
I believe
backs.
rumor has that Adrian Peterson is starting for the Washington Redskins.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Mm.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
Chris
Chris Thompson
Thompson,
does get some
we'll
work, but he's in
We'll
a
see.
timeshare
he
committee.
is, yeah.
And then
a weak
also,
offense.
just looking at your bench, you have still John Ross there, which he's been injured on
He's on
IR
IR.
for 2 weeks.
I think so.
Yeah.
Jalen Samuels and Mason Rudolph are out for Samuels
Mason
for a
Rudolph
month.
got KO, derpy.
You literally have
He got knocked out
Basically-
on the field. Get rid of his ass.
you have 3 open roster spots
Derby,
basically on your team.
He's not worth keeping. Mason Rudolph is a backup QB that is concussed.
Drop him. Drop him.
Why don't you just pick up the 3rd string, Derek? Come on.
He might. He's
He might.
listening.
I mean, his kicker Joey Sly. That's a pretty good name. Just saying.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And especially
Pretty
on a
solid.
high-powered offense, even without Cam Newton, he's going to have some good kicking opportunities.
Sure, like that name.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, next up we got Zach, Devontae Freeman, and David Johnson. Both pretty solid running backs.
Yeah,
Thielen
yeah.
had a really good week this week,
Big
and if
time.
Alshon Jeffrey's healthy,
We'll see if he
he's got
complains again
good-
to Kirky.
He's got good potential. Justin Tucker's always a solid kicker.
Yes.
Your quarterbacks, though, are a bit... I mean, if they have good weeks, they have good weeks, but most of the time it's a bit, in the middle.
Yeah.
And just looking at his bench, solid all the way through.
I'm pretty sure he could hear us right now, so I don't want to say anything
Oh, yeah.
bad. But I actually, being honest, he has one of the better lineups of these
Agreed.
bottom 6 teams. So look for him to maybe,
Jump
make
up.
a playoff push
Yeah.
and jump up. He's got a good bench. He's got some decent starters. Just haven't really been playing good
Yeah.
yet altogether.
I don't see a running back on that bench, though.
Yeah,
So,
that's the
we'll-
questionable part. Because David Johnson, he's been having some back issues. So we'll
Devonta
see.
Freeman also not. He's coming off that injury,
Yeah.
not been as performing as. Yeah.
Yeah, look for Breida to maybe step that
Yeah.
up, but we'll see.
All right, now we've got Alex Fiala. Tom Brady off waivers, pretty good pickup. I still don't know why Sam dropped him.
Yeah.
I asked him about it. He said, didn't need him. I'm like, Sam, try trading. He was like, I did. And it's like, Try
QB
harder.
value
Try
isn't
harder.
high.
No. Especially when their defense keeps him off the field almost.
Yep. Julio Jones, very good receiver, has not been performing
Oh.
this year. Travis Kelce, though.
He was
top-
also had a slow start,
Yeah, but
but
he's also, very skilled.
He's
tight
coming
end.
into his own.
Kareem Hunt still on your team. Hopefully when he comes back,
So week
Does
6,
well.
Is week 7 or
Week 8.
week 8?
Yeah, week 8 or 9, yeah.
AJ Green hopefully gets healthy for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of question
A
marks.
lot of question marks.
DD's just, ever since Foles got hurt,
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same. Gardner
Mhm.
doesn't throw to him that
Nope.
much. Honestly, I look at
Chark over
Chark is-
over DD.
Shark is better than Dede right now just because of the
Mhm.
whole QB dilemma there. So we'll see if Foles comes back if he plays. I think Dede gains some more
A
value,
little
but
bit, yeah.
other than that, Fiala, sorry to say it, but you're probably sacco bound or at least heading in that direction.
Somewhere.
Next up, we got Lincoln. On paper, very, very good receivers, Odell Beckham Jr. and Juju Smith-Schuster. However, they just have not been performing up to potential this year.
It's a little bit of a hot take, but Aaron Rodgers has not been a top 10
That is true.
quarterback in fantasy.
That is true.
I mean, when you got a player like Aaron Jones,
Yep.
who's been freed.
Which Aaron are you going to
He's
pick?
been freed now.
He has been.
Jones has been freed.
Aaron
Rodgers a bit locked
he's
up.
He's had some weight lifted off of his shoulders, and so not as fantasy relevant.
Yeah.
No, I really like what you said there. On paper, his team looks really good.
Very good.
Rodgers, Carson, Fournette, Odell, Juju. Like on paper, Kittle too. Like on paper, that's a star-studded lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the guys have been underperforming.
Yep.
I don't really see. I mean, maybe he can make. I don't think he's going to end up being Sacco ultimately. Although I voted for you, to be Sacco just to piss you off. I'll just tell you that right now.
I think it'll be Sacco
later.
Actually, maybe not. I don't know.
But I think just looking at your team on paper, they're going to perform at some point. It's just that you're so inconsistent. You're going to be in the running for Sacco. You won't be the Sacco. Bold prediction right there for the end of the season.
What's that? He won't be Sacco?
He will be in the Sacco contention of those 4 teams, but he will not be the Sacco.
All right. Which leads us actually to my team, and I will just let you guys take it away because look,
Gardner Minshew, he's the man of our hearts. He is.
He sure is.
That facial hair is something to
He's
behold.
a modern day Uncle Rico.
He is. James Conner is going to do that. That team needs a solid running back, and he's going to be that running back. Jordan Howard, fantastic goal line running back. He steals a lot of the goal line touches from Miles Sanders. I have a problem with that.
Garbage monster.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Turf toe hurts.
It does.
We'll see when he comes back, but he's bound to have a breakout game sooner rather than later. Amari Cooper. For some reason, he is just going off this year, and he's been consistent.
I'm liking that part.
Not the Amari Cooper that we know. Hopefully he stays like that for you.
I hope so too.
Delaney Walker, honestly, if you don't have those top 3 tight ends, it hurts. It does.
It shows.
Will Fuller, he's got the potential to break out. Especially with Deshaun Watson as his QB. What do you have to say?
Yeah, tight end is a really weak spot. But yeah, like we said, I mean, if you don't get a top tight end, if you don't draft or get someone like Darren Waller, like I did early in free agency, you're kind of screwed. Yeah. And it does show. Like, for example, with Walker, like, he's not awful, but he doesn't score, he's not guaranteed 10 points a week like some tight ends.
Hunter Henry, though, he's coming back soon.
Yes,
so I'm really hoping that he can pick it up.
Yeah, we'll see.
If he can, that'd be, real good.
Quarterback's kind of a
I need to talk to you about a Josh Gordon trade also.
A Josh Gordon trade? Okay.
Josh Gordon trade. We'll
see about that.
That'll
be after the show.
After the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, running back, kind of a question mark. You've had injury spots with the receiver, so I think your team will be a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I think you're probably at this point of the season, I think you still may be in the Sacco contention. I'm going to make another bold prediction on this show right now. It may be a little bit too early. I'm actually going to change my vote when we're done with this, so it's going to reflect. But I don't think Joey's going to be the Sacco either.
I don't think so either.
I'm going to make my bold prediction of the Sacco right now, and I think we're going to have early in this league's creation a first to worst with Alex Fiala.
I could get behind that.
I like it. I might just have to switch my vote.
Let's all do it, boys.
Sorry, Fiala.
Yeah.
Just going through that. And your team, I think you have the worst lineup besides tight end. I mean, everybody's got some strengths in their lineup, but I just think looking at everything and talking about it, Fiala's got the shittiest lineup.
Yeah.
And also, if you have any complaints about any of this analysis,
any of it,
you know who to contact. It's
Your
our
boy.
commissioner, or not our commissioner,
No.
but
No.
our Sacco,
Adam.
the Yeti,
Yep.
Adam, Daddy.
Daddy. True daddy.
True daddy.
True daddy.
All right. Well, that is the rate my roster bit of this.
It was fun. It was fun.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. So that is it for this week. I would like to thank T-Corn and Michael for joining me this week.
Thanks for the beer.
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I did earn it.
You did.
I did
You
earn
both.
it.
You both have earned those beers, and what? You still have one more that you've got to take. Because I think you had last time you took a beer.
Yeah,
so.
you got another beer.
I did.
So you have
Another
one more
beer
coming
again.
up. So I guess
Yeah.
you got to come back on, but not score the most points, because then you'll have.
Well,
Another
let's
Another
see.
beer.
Maybe next time I'll have 2 while I'm on.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If I
But
score,
is that are you saying you're going to score the most points again? Do you want to make a bold prediction again?
Whoa!
Oh. Why not? I'm going to score the most points this week.
Oh,
You heard it here, folks. That's probably the
God.
least confident bold prediction I'm going to have all week.
How many bold was that? 4
That
or
was
5?
4. That was 4 bold predictions.
Yeah, I'm confident
That
in
was
the
4.
rest. This one, it was just, you egged me into it, so we're going with it.
All right. Well, yeah. That is the end. Thank you again. And thank you. And thank you.